let me introduce you to Autumn Light. It's a pad that started one weekend when I was using my cassette recorder and I hit play on the recorder and I could hear this beautiful sound coming from the motor and the mechanics of the cassette recorder. And I thought, why not record it? I threw it into Contact, had a ton of fun with it, and I went down a rabbit hole and decided to make my first virtual instrument. So here it is, Autumn Light. Let me show you how it works. It's pretty simple, really. It's a pad that is kind of designed for maybe ambient music or those cues in a film where you need that drone or texture. It is also quite melodic if you use it well, but it has this quality to it that fits for those long, expressive textures. I design it in a way, if you hold a chord for a long time, it will never be the same. It will constantly change. The loop is quite long and evolves. So it has this granular, evolving quality to it. Let me just jump into it because it's pretty simple. You have 3 layers, and the bottom left corner, you can play around with them. So you can click on the switches to unmute them or mute them. Or you can use the sliders to mix them in and out. All right, let's see how it sounds. So the first layer is the cassette that sparked the idea for this instrument. You see it has this nice, tuneful sound to it, but it also has the sound of the mechanics that gives you a bit like, it sounds like the wind to me, but it's quite mystical and a bit spectral. You can let it play for forever really. It will always sound slightly different. It has that granular quality. Alright, so that's the first layer. The second layer I thought would go well with it is an alto saxophone. So I recorded my friend Sophie a few years ago, and she's playing very breathy harmonics. Again, you can let that play. This one gets dissonant quite quickly, but I am playing close voicing. But the breathiness goes really well with the sound of the mechanics of the motor of the cassette, the kind of wind-like quality. And the third one is a little bit more random. I recorded this kitchen table. The leg of that kitchen table is this metallic tube, and when you hit it, it sounds like a bell, a soft bell. So I removed the attack of the sound, so you just get the tail, and it's looped. It's looping back and forth, forward and reverse, forward and reverbs. So again, you can just let it ring for a long time. I just think it has such a dreamy element to it. And when you play it in the high register, it sounds like water to me, or dew, you know, like early morning kind of feel. Which I thought would go really well with this instrument. So when you blend them all together, also the third layer has a bit of distortion, which is quite nice with the overall sound. Alright, enough with this. The big button at the top, the big slider there, is the Cutoff, which is filter with a gentle slope is controlled by the mod wheel by default, but you can obviously change that. It's because I like to play with dynamics a lot, and obviously this is a pad, so you can't really change dynamics when you just have a long texture. So I find that Cutoff allows you to play around with dynamic instead of changing the volume. It just changes the dynamic, the quality of the sound, and then sometimes you just want something a bit subtle like this. So yeah, that's on the mod wheel, very simple. And then the last thing you can do with this instrument, you have 4 effects attached to it, and that you can control with those knobs here. So you've got the warmth, which is just simple tape saturation. It's quite gentle. I didn't want something, it's already quite a busy sound, so as soon as you distort it too much, it's just a bit messy, but it adds a bit of edge, I think. I like to be able to play around with saturation when I play on the go. The second one is a plate reverb. Why plate? Is because I thought the plate would add a nice metallic sound, bring nice harmonics to the sound. It's not really there to add a lot of space, it's more there for the tone of the pad. I mean, it is a reverb, it will definitely give you some reverb, of course, but you can also have a very close sound. You can use it a little bit to get those harmonics but it still sounds like it's in a small, it's quite intimate. The third one is a delay, so that's a delay with a long feedback, because I wanted to give it a bit more depth and space. And also it kind of gives me the idea of those leaves drifting in the wind. It very quickly gets a bit much, but if you want much, you can get much. And of course it saturates a bit as well. But a little bit of it. And you get a cool tail from it. And the last one is space. That really changes the sound of it. It just launches it into space. I won't even play the dry signal, which, I mean, it is space. You're very floating there. And you can get messy with it. It just, space sounds very different depending on what layer you're using. If you're only using those high ones, I mean, reverb makes everything sound pretty. Interstellar 2. It's happening. So yeah, that's pretty much what you can do with it. It sounds quite good higher up as well, I think. These ones sound very nice higher up. Let me give it a bit of plate, reverb, bit of warmth, bit of delay. That's your morning kind of. Gets a bit messy now. Also works quite well in the lower register, I found. You have to be careful, obviously, because saturation. Maybe let's remove the warmth for a sec. Actually, let's go and take it into a minor place. Got interesting textures and colors there. It does get messy. You have to just play around with it and see what you like. I've also made a few presets for those of you who don't have time to explore it. Every time I play this instrument, I discover new tones. Whispered in the wind. That is the answer, my friend. Anyway, this is Autumn Light. This is my first virtual instrument, so please let me know your thoughts if you think of things that can be improved or changed. I hope you'll have as much fun as I had making it and playing it. And I might make more version of the Season Lights concept. We'll see.